Hello, everyone. Today I'm starting a new mini series of 3 episodes where I will be talking about the year 2025 and artificial intelligence. In the first part, I will talk about artificial general intelligence. In the second part, I will talk about agents or AI agents joining the workforce. And in the third part, we will be talking about 10x productivity within the enterprise using artificial intelligence. These episodes are more about the predictions that were made at the beginning of 2025 and then how the year went and what was the progress that we've made. So today will be about artificial general intelligence predictions and the failure of those predictions thereof. And this is episode 137. But before we get started, if you are enjoying the Enterprise Architecture Radio videos that I'm publishing, then please let YouTube know, like, share, and subscribe. In fact, I'm seeing that 70 to 80% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to see the videos more regularly and it helps the channel as well. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy the videos, tell a friend. All right. So, artificial general intelligence. At the beginning of the year 2025, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, made a prediction that now they know how to do artificial general intelligence and that around the year 2025, they'll be able to accomplish AGI. So what is artificial general intelligence? Artificial general intelligence is the concept of a system that can do most of the cognitive tasks as well as a human being can. So it's not just responding to queries in a chat, it is also planning, reasoning, taking decisions, and so on and so forth. So there was a lot of talk about artificial general intelligence in 2025. Besides Sam Altman making predictions, there were also analysts who were talking about it. They were saying that, organizations have pretty much figured out how artificial general intelligence needs to be done, and there are going to be large transformational changes across the enterprise, and you being in the enterprise might see organizational structure changes, process changes, and so on and so forth. You will see AGI come in and you'll see AGI replacing human beings and so on and so forth. Very, very utopian predictions, almost like a movie. I actually got curious at the beginning of the year, last year, thinking how things are going to be changing, but nothing much really happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? There was tremendous amount of progress in the last year. Artificial intelligence models got smarter, better, bigger. I am working with Copilot, ChatGPT, and Perplexity Pro, and I saw all of these get smarter. I have been running multiple projects with them, some related to investments, other related to my own personal journaling and coaching and so on and so forth. And it's very helpful, don't get me wrong. But if you look at it from an organizational standpoint, all right, did it impact the profit and loss statement? Did it really drive value? Sure, there is better autocorrect. There is better autocomplete. There is beautiful, Copilot has become so good when it comes to transcriptions and, of meetings and summarizing emails and so on. But I still see that these models do hallucinate. There is a lot of patronizing happening is what I feel. And in most of my queries, I end it with, please do not patronize me, be objective about the responses that you're giving me. That is how I end my query. So they're not really as human as we want them to be. Also, they're quite isolated. So I was working on a personal project on Perplexity Pro in which I was trying to, so I have my own personal asana, project tracker in which I write down all my tasks that need to be completed. And I wanted Perplexity Pro to access Asana. And it also has a connector, by the way. Unfortunately, it's still lagging quite a bit and I still have to give it all the information every single time. And it's gotten a lot better than it was in 2024. But we're not there yet. So why am I saying that we are not there yet? Because it did not really impact the organizations and the enterprise. It did not really impact the profit and loss statements of the organizations. It did not really drive real value. Leaders are still asking that, is this really able to drive the P&L, or is it a science project? And so the upgraded AI models that we have adopted within the enterprise did not really come up with a new product, for example, or it did not come up with an idea of a new revenue stream. They're just still continuing to help us with our everyday work, and we are still on the driving seat. We still haven't seen AI come and replace people, or AI transform processes or transform organizational structures or any such thing. Also, the hallucination problem continues to exist. I can't completely and fully trust artificial intelligence with my critical business processes, especially healthcare, for example, is a very, very regulated industry, but it's still not the most regulated industry in the world, right? There are other industries which are more regulated than. I used to believe that healthcare is the second most regulated industry in the world, but turns out it's fifth or sixth or something like that. And then there are other industries which are even more regulated than this. And even if we are fifth and sixth regulated, would we trust artificial intelligence with our critical systems? Would we trust artificial intelligence with our, let's say, financially critical applications? Okay. Every quarter, the financial results are published because it's a listed company. Would we trust AI with it? Because it impacts the P&L big time. If one number goes wrong, it'll affect the stock price, it'll affect everything. So we're not there yet. We still have our legacy processes, we still have our legacy systems, we still have our people on the driving seat who are still doing things. Of course, AI has made life easier a lot, but it's a long way to go. In fact, what I was thinking about, when I was thinking about this, initially I used to think that we are going to replace engineers. In fact, there were so many memes that were saying programmers are dead or programming is dead because AI has come in. But the theme has now changed. It's no longer, we need less people. It's now we need better people. We need upskilled people who can use AI. So we still need people. It's just that we need them to be skilled enough to use AI to do the job better. What I think happened in 2025 with artificial general intelligence is not real progress, but mostly a funding and marketing story. Organizations built this entire propaganda around artificial general intelligence so that they can procure funding, and they were able to procure quite a lot of funding. But when it comes to true value add to the enterprise, when it comes to truly leveraging artificial general intelligence to replace systems, to replace antiquated and legacy processes, to improve turnaround times, to affect the profit and loss of a business, we're not there yet. It'll probably take a couple of years more. And the position that I am in right now, I am thinking less about models. I use AI models all the time for my personal work. Even at work, I use ChatGPT. But when we think about it from an organizational standpoint, the questions that we should be asking are, does artificial intelligence help us grow? Does artificial intelligence help impact the P&L? Does artificial intelligence improve resilience? Does it manage risks better? Does it reduce costs? Does this help build better talent, build better teams, build better people? When it comes to Teams, it might have helped a little bit through Copilot and Microsoft Teams and transcription of meetings, etc. But we've just scratched the surface still. Because if artificial general intelligence even becomes a reality today, we would still be blocked by our antiquated systems. And I'm going to talk about this in the upcoming episodes of how we will have to change ourselves to integrate with artificial intelligence. But a short line is we still have our old legacy processes and systems and people that will need to change if we are to truly adopt artificial general intelligence. I hope you're enjoying these videos that I'm publishing. Watch out for the next episode in which I'll be covering AI agents joining the workforce, the predictions around it and what really happened and why. If you're enjoying the videos, then do like, share and subscribe and comment. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, so please do subscribe. And once again, Enterprise Architecture Radio is not just a podcast, it's a collaboration platform. And I see some movement. There are a couple of questions that people asked me about enterprise architecture and the TOGAF framework, and I'll get around to answering those at some point in time. I'm also working on a training module. Let's see if I'm able to complete it. With all the things that are happening in my life these days, it's getting a little bit difficult, but if I'm able to complete it, then I'll talk about it. It's not authorized training on TOGAF. It's more on enterprise architecture and my real life experiences as an enterprise architect. And I'm going to be using the TOGAF framework as the basis of that training. And if you're interested, let me know. I'll continue to work on it. It'll inspire me to do this quicker. So once again, Enterprise Architecture Radio is not just a podcast, it's a collaboration platform where I'm trying to get together a group of intellectuals who talk to each other and learn from each other and guide each other, and but most importantly, have a ton of fun.